Hi guys, and welcome to a pretty quick video just to detail what kind of is going on and the progress that I've been making with this map that you see in front of you. And a lot of you guys will probably not know what this map is, but it is the Isles of Dakros map, which is going to be the Dakros kind of series map. And I'll go through the reasons why I'm wanted to create a new map in just a second, but basically this is going to be the new map for all of them, Season 2 and onwards. I'm planning on having a server as well, at some point at least. So you can kind of jump onto the server and you can fly around. There'll also be kind of stuff like a plot world I'm planning on having on there. So you guys can actually build on these plots, and I can actually give you guys advice and kind of try and help you out in that way, or leave signs around and messages and stuff like that. So it kind of help you guys build, because I do get a lot of requests to jump on servers to kind of give you guys advice, and I think the easiest way to do that, instead of having a massive server list and trying to find those builds on that server, having my own one and having a plot me kind of world where you can just jump on. But that's going to be kind of future, kind of in the future when everything's kind of done to satisfaction. This is just kind of current progress. This is just going to be an update. It's not finished by any means at all. So I'll just show you why I'm actually changing this. So the old map that I had was this one for the Dakros. There is a download for the kind of blank map, and I'll put that in the description as well. Though a lot of you guys have probably already got it. This is my first real world painter map, and you can see the kind of mountains and things like that. They're very circular, very round. The trees were actually the kind of Minecraft trees. So there wasn't really too much to it. The size as well was quite small. Dakadale is actually located here. So it's just on that kind of side bit there. So you can imagine actually building a true city would, take up this amount here. It'd just take up a huge amount of space. And without amazing landscape and kind of amazing kind of places you can go to, and also the pathing and creating paths and stuff like that would be quite difficult. So what I did is I spent about 20 odd hours to create this, and this is just a still of the map because I can zoom in easily and quickly. So what I did, this is actually Iceland, and I took a height map of Iceland. I then went crazy in Photoshop to get the height levels on different parts down and edit it that way. Then I shoved it into World Painter and started playing around with it. It's actually upside down Iceland, weirdly enough. For some reason I wanted this here. I think it's because the bay, I want the capital down on this part here, so I kind of switched it. But so it's kind of like based off Iceland, but there's a load of differences in it. But it gave me a really good thing to get these rivers in. As you can see here, these kind of rivers that go up here. So when I actually paint in my rivers, which is kind of when I've finished with the terrain, and when I'm really happy with the terrain, I'm going to do that as kind of last. I can actually paint them in to these kind of pre-made slots in a way. I will still probably go around by hand and do it that way. I've also got all the roads on here. I've got the road layer, as you can see. So there's loads of roads already cut through pretty much all of the map, really. Just go to the kind of key areas, especially the mountains and the Dwarven mountains. And these aren't the most amazing mountains. I'm probably going to touch those up as well before it's finished. So yeah, there's lots of that kind of stuff. There's different biomes, there's different kind of areas for the actual building stuff. It's quite interesting terrain. It's definitely different. But yeah, so if I just fly over here, this you can see, this is probably a more updated one than that one. I'm also planning on doing a couple of little islands around. But I basically have an Orcish Volcano Island up here, and I'll actually grab the pictures for this quickly. So for this Orcish Island, I've actually got some pictures for it, and I will just find these quickly. I think it's easier to actually load these pictures up rather than anything else. So this is the actual volcano, and there it is from there. So the kind of Orcish Island is looking pretty good. I'm going to kind of make a custom kind of dead tree layer, I think is what I'm going to call it. Some sort of, so there's dead trees around, because so far it kind of looks really barren and kind of a bit sparse, but that's that kind of area there. We also have this ice island here, or kind of icy island up here. I'm going to do this as a Nordic island. So we're going to have orcs mainly on this part. This Nordic island over here, there's some pretty cool mountains in here. Now that I've switched to Conquest, I actually need to change some of these, because what I've done is I've used the clay blocks. Use black, grey and light grey clay blocks in here to make the kind of mountains look a bit darker. As you get with kind of the icier regions, it kind of gives it a bigger contrast between the white and the rock. So I'll have to kind of mess around with that layer, because the Conquest ones are a bit different. think there's a couple more pictures. There you go. So that's the kind of icy lands. That then brings us on to probably, we've also got this kind of Arabic city down here. Might as well go over here. So we've got Arabic kind of lands. And again, I've got a couple of pictures. I'll have another play with this now that I've got Conquest, as there's some really cool sandstone stuff, so I can put in some proper kind of sandstone, stone, not as in sandstone, the Minecraft one, but actual stone that's sand-based, if that makes any sense. So I'll kind of have a mess around with that. Also, these cactuses are actually old. I'm not using those anymore. I wasn't too keen on them. This island here is going to be for Roman and Greek styles. So I think I have a picture of that as well somewhere. I don't know why some of these pictures have gone a bit weird. There we go. So this is what it kind of looks like, this kind of Mediterranean style. And that's not it. There we go, yeah. So you've got these two here. So this is the Mediterranean style. Like really, really sandy beaches and then kind of really cool trees. So that looks kind of awesome, that area. And there you go, there's another picture of it as well. And another. So I've actually got quite a lot, because that was the kind of first... That was actually the first island I built here. This is going to be a kind of Asian style. I'm still messing around with it. If I can find a picture of it. I can't remember if I got any. Okay, so here it is kind of what it's looking like. It's not too bad. This is the lake in front of it. It's got some islands. Some mountains. The trees, what I'm going to do is actually mess around with stuff. In 1.7 with Conquest, you've actually got like the pink leaves and stuff, like the cherry blossom leaves. I'm going to have to do it with wool, I think, which is a bit of a shame. But I'll just kind of create some custom things for that for the 1.6, and then I can just, use World Edit or MC Edit to then switch those out later on at a later date. But at least it'll give me a kind of starting point to get kind of cherry blossoms on that island. I'm still not sure if I'm going to completely do the Asian styles. I have no idea how to do it. So what else have we got of interest? There's just tons. I might just go through these pictures, really. This is another kind of really cliffy area. This is using John Smith Legacy still. So we've got a couple of cliffy areas, loads of cliffy areas, lots of stuff. There's a big, massive cave. I'm planning on having like a pirate cove type thing. Like smaller mountains there. You've already seen the Mediterranean stuff. This is me messing around with caves, actually. Ignore that. I'll go over that in a second. So there's some more landscape. Some crazy mountains. Those are crazy. These layers have now changed completely. I've been messing around with those. So that's actually completely almost wrong. And then we had that massive volcano. I'm really proud with this volcano. I think it looks awesome. More of the Orcish stuff, more of the Nord stuff. Arabic lands, the kind of Asianish. These are the massive trees. So kind of at the heart of the forest here, around the kind of Dwarven mountains that I've got here. And these mountains are huge. They're seriously huge. I've got these kind of great pines, which is part of a custom tree pack. They're just crazy, and there you can see the actual path that I've created going through the kind of some forest, even more of these great pines and other trees. There's the black pearl actually coming out of that pirate bay. I was just trying that out. Great Elven forest. This area is now looking absolutely awesome. The great Elven forest part, I've really messed around with it loads. There's going to be like waterfalls and stuff. It's going to be very much like Rivendell, the kind of area, I guess. Very lush. Even more of those, the sea urchin, stuff like that. There won't be any floating islands. This is just randomly in here, and that's some weird like plants I was messing around with. Don't ask. So yeah, the sea arches and stuff like that. I'm going to start adding those in because I didn't actually know how to do them when I started making this map. But I'm planning on putting in some sea arches somewhere on this map. But so far it's looking pretty awesome. If I just turn on the dwarf cave layer, now that I've done the Dwarven Caves and things like that. You can already see this was basically just one massive cave system, and they're all kind of joined in. I'm going to make tons of cave layers on this to really make cities. Currently it's just literally just, hollowed out mountains pretty much. And I don't really want that. I want to have, truly cool things. I've also got kind of a cave layer in here. I'll put a custom one in here, I think. Separate that into another layer so that I've got kind of, like Mount Doom where you kind of walk across that. I'm going to try and do that kind of thing. I guess. It won't actually be Mount Doom, but, it'll be something like that. So there's lots and lots of cave layers going around everywhere, which is pretty awesome. So that's kind of like a quick update. It is laggy as hell, especially when I'm recording with this. But if I just find that kind of main picture again, wherever it is. Well, painter, there we go. So you can kind of see how it's turned out so far, and it's looking pretty ace. I'm pretty happy with it. There is going to be some more stuff added. I'm going to mess around with these mountains. I'm going to learn a lot more mountainous stuff to make it look more realistic. So I'm going to mess around with that a lot. I've also got the Asian trees to kind of do. The rivers as well. I've got to put those in. As soon as I finish with the terrain, I'll put in the rivers with my river layer and get those kind of going down. This area here, I need to mess around with the terrain. I'm putting a lake up here. I'm going to make them kind of waterfalls, and I might even bring the waterfalls up to here, this point, like there. But I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to see kind of where the waterfalls could kind of look nice naturally. Dwarven Caves, I've got to do the entire cave system for this map, and it's going to be massive. I mean, I could get inside this mountain, which is just a massive mountain. I could get tons of like Dwarven Caves, like cities, pretty much, like huge, absolutely huge. So yeah, that's pretty much the kind of progress of it, and progress of the Isles of Dakros. So yeah, tell me what you guys think of the map so far. I mean, you've just seen kind of a couple of little screenshots and things like that, just because it's so massive and detailed that it's taken forever. I've also got to do a whole load of custom rock layers to try and make it look a little bit better on different areas. But tell me what you guys think. If you enjoyed what you've seen so far, you know, make sure you give me a like. And I'll see you guys on the next video.